true. Oh, there's nothing. Somebody testify. Oh, there's nothing, no. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. He's ever made a way for you. I want you to sing this. Come on, sound the roof up. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. Come on. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. Tell them now. You're the only one who can. Turn grace. You turn grace into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. Sing on the only who can. Oh, there's nothing. Come on, choir. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm searching up now. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you.
You can now twice.
I searched the world, but it couldn't fill me. Melted praise and treasures of fame are never enough. Then you came along and put me back together. And every desire is now satisfied here in your love. Hey. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing better than you. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, yes, I know it's true. Come on, tell them. Hey, I'm not afraid to show you my weakness, my failures and flaws. Lord, you see them all, and you still call me friend. 'Cause the God of the mountain is the God of the valley. There's not a place your mercy and grace won't find me again. Come on now. Oh, there's nothing better than you. There's nothing, Lord. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I know it's true. Oh, there's nothing. Somebody testify. Oh, there's nothing, no. Lord, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. He's ever made a way for you. I want you to sing this. Come on, Tell the roof off. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. You're the only one who can. Come on. You turn mourning to dancing. You give beauty for ashes. You turn shame into glory. Tell them now. You're the only one who cares. Turn praise. You turn grace into God. You turn glories. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. Anything only you're the only one who can. Oh, there's nothing. Come on, choir. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. I'm searching up now. Oh, there's nothing better than you. Oh, there's nothing. Oh, there's nothing. Nothing is better than you. Oh, come on, if we turn your brain into a God and say, you turn grace into gardens. You turn bones into armies. You turn seas into highways. You're the only one who can. You turn grace into gardens. Turn your bones into an army. Turn bones into armies. Making ways through the sea. You turn seas into highways. Hey, you're the only one who can. You're the only one. He's the only one. You're the only one who can. Somebody give him praise in this house. Hey. I don't think we're finished yet. Come on. I think he's turning some things over tonight. You turn my morning into dancing. Come on. You turn morning to dancing. Yeah. You get beauty for ashes. Shame into glory. You turn shame into glory. The only name. You're the only one. Oh, it's turning my breath. You turn grace into life. You turn bones into armies. Making ways through the sea. You turn seas into highways. You're the only. You're the only one. Come on, one more time. You turn my grave into a garden. You turn grace into life. Resurrection born. You turn bones into armies. You're making ways through my sea. You turn seas into highways. You're the only. You're the Jesus, you're the only way. Come on, give him one more shout of praise.
The song of elevation worship, we want to call grave to garden. You turn grave into garden, whatever your grave situation look like. I pray and hope that not beautiful garden.
At the best prices in the Federation. Joe Phil's Auto Masters is located on the corner of Market Street and Liverpool Road. They're open Mondays, Friday up to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. just to serve you. Joe Phil's Auto Masters has in stock spark plugs, brake pads, clutch pressure plates, cheer seats, mats, steering wheel covers, polishes, waxes, air fresheners, tints, drive shafts, and so much more. If you don't see the product that you're looking for, don't be afraid to ask. And if they don't have it in stock, they'll order it for you. Telephone 465-1784. It's Joe Phil's Auto Masters, chauffeuring you to great deals in grand style.
Did you know U.S. bartenders say they hear more complaints about work than any other subject? I repeat, did you know U.S. bartenders say they hear more complaints about work than any other subject? Now you know.
I know the one who knows all about it. Never one time has he ever doubted. In every situation, he's in control. 'Cause he's the one who knows. I know the one who knows all about it. Never one time. In every situation, he's in control. 'Cause he's the one who knows. I know the one who knows.
Joe Phil's Auto Masters has the most reliable parts at the Joe Phil's Auto Masters is located on Market Street, Liverpool Road. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and on Saturday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Service has in stock plugs, brake pads, clutch pressure plates, cheer seats, mats, steering wheel covers, polishes, waxes, air fresheners, tints, drive shafts, and so much more. If you don't see the product that you're looking for, don't be afraid to ask. And if they don't have it in stock, they'll order it for you. Telephone 465-1784. It's Joe Phil's Auto Masters, chauffeuring you to great deals in grand style.
Different styles, but we stay hype on the rhythm, giving thanks and praises to the Father for giving. You're now rocking with Sean English on Evening Connections with your host, Janil Boom.
Anoint my head, anoint my feet, send your angels raining down here on the battleground. For your glory, we're taking territory, fighting unseen enemies like never before. We're waging war. Anoint my head, oh yeah, anoint my feet, send your angels raining down here on the battleground. For your glory, we're taking territory, fighting unseen enemies like never before. We're waging principalities messing with me. Waging war. Out of the death thing, taking it back for me. I'm ready for the battle. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for the battle. I'm ready to win. He lives with me. Can't be defeated. The enemy is gonna be. I'm taking it back. I'm taking territory. Going into battle. Going into battle. Send your fire, send your fire. Fire by night, cloud by day. A strong tower, send the latter rain. Lion of Judah, Lord God, mighty in battle. Since you did it back then, we know you'll do it again. Cloud by day, strong tower, send latter rain. Lion of Judah, Lord God, yeah. I know you will. We're going, we're going, we're going, we're going. Lord, send your fire. Come by day. A strong tower, sing. Lion of Judah, Lord God, mighty in battle. Since you did it back then, send your fire. A strong tower, send the rain. Lord God, mighty in battle. So we raise you on, like never before. We're waiting
This is such a big tune. You gotta come back again, man. Yeah. One thing with Sissy Wine, she will always give you a big tune. She'll always give you something big. And that past time, yeah. Let me give you what's in the news and then we move ahead here on Evening Connections.
anoint my head.
And today the Caribbeans felt 2 earthquakes. Yeah, in the Caribbean today, 2 earthquakes or 2 earth shakes.
We're taking territory.
2 tremors.
Enemy.
The first one that let me say the last 2 days the Caribbean has been feeling some activity. I'm not sure what's going on. What's really going on with the Caribbean plate? Good question. Eastern Caribbean to be exact. We got because remember up by Haiti they're on a fault line and down by Trinidad they're also on a fault line. So those 2 regions of the Caribbean they are prone to earthquakes. They're just prone to that. But then we between here by the Leeward Islands, we are starting to see more activity on the northern side of it, more like out at Antigua, more out about Barbuda, that region there where you generally sits on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean to activity. Today on the eastern side, the southeast side, or the southwest side of that would be east, west, not east, not west, not east. The northeastern side, not western, yeah, that's west. The northwestern side of countries that Guadeloupe, the northwestern side of Guadeloupe received an earthquake today, and that area affected most of the Caribbean. So what you felt this morning, if you were not getting ready to leave for work, because most of us were going to the hospital, or you probably were in traffic at that time, so you didn't feel it. If you were not one of those folks, then you likely, the folks that were home late, the folks that did not go out anywhere, and it was literally in rush hour. It was 7:23 this morning. That's rush hour right there. Yeah. If you live beyond Middle Island or you live beyond Lodge, you were more than likely you had just got a vehicle. You just jumped into a vehicle because you need to get to work by 8 o'clock. So you would have missed it. Unless you were late and you were rushing out the house, then you likely wouldn't have felt it because you were on your feet moving. It was a 6.1. Whoa. 6.1 magnitude. That's a big fella. And that was a big fella. And that's why we felt it all the way up here in St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin. They too felt it. You got to understand that Guadeloupe is far from us, eh? It may seem near, but it's really far because after St. Kitts, we have Nevis, we have Montserrat, Antigua, then we have Guadeloupe. That earthquake was on the northwestern side, the northwest side of Guadeloupe, and we felt it up here. So you can imagine the people in Antigua, Barbuda, the people in Antigua and Montserrat, that area there felt it much harder. We up here in St. Kitts, Nevis, Barbuda, Guadeloupe, and based on the coordinates, that would have been earthquake 6.1 already, right? I experienced a 6.9, and Lord Jesus, me say, Lord, me don't want to experience none of that again. It was nice. That was Trinidad in 2018. And that one was literally right on the Trinidad because they're on a plate. And everybody else like, yeah, because they're accustomed to it. So me, yeah. So 6.1, the epicenter, fortunately, I don't know if they gave them any tsunami type waves, but the epicenter was in the ocean, the Caribbean Sea, to be exact. The epicenter was latitude 16.24 north, longitude 62.01 west. So once again, the epicenter of that earthquake this morning was 16.24 north, longitude 62.01 west, which puts it on the northwestern side of the island in the ocean, Caribbean Sea. The depth, how deep was it? It was only 164 kilometer underwater. So not that deep. Not that deep. I'm surprised we haven't really felt much of it. I have to look into it and see if any damage is down in that region. And then this afternoon, when you think you had it all, this afternoon after one, it was 1:14 p.m. There was another earthquake. This one was between Antigua and Barbuda when they got separated. It was right between Antigua and Barbuda on the northeastern side of Antigua. There was a 3.7 magnitude earthquake. 3.7. Not much people would have really felt it unless they're really on that side of Antigua. A very, very small quake. And this system was located at latitude 17.29 north or longitude 61.50 west. 17.29 north or 65.50 west. It was only 3 kilometers deep. It wasn't really much underwater. And yes, it was in the water, but it wasn't really much under the earth, if I'm to put it. It was right there. So that's what took place today with regards to earthquake. And a lot of you call, a lot of you say, Johnny, you feel it? No, I didn't. I was getting ready to go to work. Yeah, and you said, when you work? Yeah, I'm out my house since after 7 this morning. That's the usual. Yeah. Some days I hit some good 12 hours. So yeah. Nonetheless, let's continue moving ahead here on Evening Connections. over there in Tortola, this coming Sunday, they are going to appoint a new senior pastor for the New Life Baptist Church, the church in the background, and where Donna Klein is singing there. The church where Bishop John Klein established years ago. This coming Sunday, they are going to have a service where such will be appointed. The senior pastor, the new senior pastor, is actually the son of the present founder. That's Jovan Klein and Jovan Klein. And as he indicated, he's not passing the baton to his share because he won't pass to his share. So the Lord said, yeah. Anyone who's in leadership would understand. Would you really want to pass the button to one of your children? If you understand the kind of weight, the kind of pressure, the kind of load that leadership take, would you really want to pass it to one of your children? Maybe not. So that's taking place over there in Tortola this coming weekend. I think it's happening in the afternoon, so you might be able to watch that live and see what's going on. As he did over 30 plus years as the pastor, so he's now believing it's time to let it go. It's good. That's a good thing when somebody who's in ministry for so long can pass on the baton and when they are still in good health. Yeah. I mean, to understand when some people in leadership 40-something years, 50-something years, and you're still sitting down. Yeah. Let somebody else take over, man. You could now become the mentor. Yeah, you could become the counselor, the word be, not the counselor, the advisor. You might want to be the counselor sometimes too. But yeah, you can be that man. After so much years, I understand you found it and so, yeah, and sometimes people don't want to give it up, but after so much years, the best part of leadership is when someone else can take over. Let me say it again. The best part of leadership, the epiphany of leadership, is when someone else can take over, when your legacy have a leg. It doesn't matter how much work we put in now, we got 40 years and 45 years and 50 years and 55 years, and we celebrate and say, hey, congratulations that you have reached this fire ministry, 50 years and so on, you're going good. And should that really be, let me say, if you have been doing it since a teenager, 50 years plus 19, put you at 69. So if you've been doing it since you were a teenager and so, what if you're up in age? Do you really want to be cutting up your head with a congregation in your 70s and them kind of stuff? You can do other stuff. You can write a book. You can do a movie and them things here at that age. You don't have to deal with people come to with the stuff. Especially, I was looking at some world leaders on my status the last few days, and it's amazing how many world leaders are in their 70s and the 80s. How you find time to go hot up here with a whole country in your 70s? You could do something else good. Find them age. I'm not saying it's beyond reach, but I'm saying at that age, you want to focus on some other stuff and let somebody else take that level of stress. You can always advise them. Yeah. So Bishop Klein in Tortola is passing the baton. He's still in his 60s, but he's passing the baton to someone else now. And of course, just like TD Jakes in his 60s, and he has passed the baton. He still preaches. So that's the thing that people fail to understand. TD Jakes already passed the baton, but he's still very much visible. Because he understands that there must be a period where a transitional period. He also understands that though I'm visible, I no longer have the accountability that comes with it. I may have a responsibility to preach, but I don't have the accountability of the people. These are certain things you gotta understand. You must get it off of you and let somebody else take over at a certain time. Yeah, succession is the epiphany of leadership. Pretty much, it is leadership. If you are going to be in leadership and you know, somebody say, imagine someone gonna say that Johnny Lee is irreplaceable. That's a compliment. It is not a compliment. In my book, it is not a compliment to say that Johnny Lee is irreplaceable. Because I want to be replaced. I want to work myself out of a job. I want to be, and let me put that in context. When I say work myself out of a job, I want to be so good at whatever that I'm no longer just limited to the booth. I can now train someone else to take up after me. I can now branch out and plant 2, 3 or whatever, and 2, 3, meaning like 1, 2, 3. I can plant more of whatever. And you want to become, if I'm to say, an apostle of your gift, rather than just sitting the pastor in your gift. Oh, that's when it's, and that's a sermon. It says somebody better decode that one. You want to become an apostle of your gift rather than just a pastor of your gift. Don't just sit there and managing. You got to start leading, start growing. And at some point in time, succession is required. It's mandatory, because the truth is we are not here on earth forever. So nobody it should not have to reach to a point for you to die for someone else to get your position. It should never reach to that point. That your chair only becomes available because of death. Now, yet let me note this. Sometimes people die. All the time people die. But what I mean is that if you're already putting the time, then you can pass on the button. Yeah. Nothing wrong with passing on the button, because the student, as they would say, gets better than the teacher. However, the student makes the teacher look good. And I think we fail to understand that. The student reflects the teacher. And if you taught well, if you mentored well, your offspring will make you proud. Don't you want to get to a point where you can comfortably sit back and say, boy, yeah, I remember I taught she, I remember when she first came in the faith, I remember when she first started the business, and I remember when they just had a little desire for it, and now look, she's a leader, boy. Yeah. Look, I can learn from her. Look, I can receive from her. Because at some point in time, you want to be able to be on a receiving end, At some point in time, you want to be able to be like the cup. You no longer want to be the jar, you want to be the cup. So shout out to anyone who appreciates legacy. So shout out to anyone who understands that succession is a must. Shout out to anyone who understands putting the proper system in place rather than having to wait for death, or rather for people to be fighting for the lot, if I'm to put it like that. Bible, let me use Bible language. No one should have to be casting lot and say, who can take up the button? No, you don't have to drop the button. You can safely pass it on. You don't have to drop it. And many of us, many Caribbean leaders in particular, I realize many leaders in the world, but many Caribbean leaders think that they must die in their position. No, you're not dying in your position. Do you really want to die in your position? And sometimes it's so hard on the organization and the country, the business, when the boss man dead, when the prime minister dead, when the president dead, when the pastor dead. It's another level of burden that the actual people have to bear, because you in the seat decide that it's going to be your retirement package. You got to tell yourself that I'm going to pass it on before it's too late. And I say, I'm not saying go in retirement. I'm not saying go home in your rocking chair, because that's a perfect example. Bishop Klein in Tortola is still strong and captive, as they would say. TD Jakes, perfect example. Since TD Jakes passed over the church to to Sarah, right? Since he passed it over to Sarah, he have since gone to do a movie. He's actually now producing a movie. He have since started working on another book. He now have a whole channel on Amazon. He's still doing the King's business, but he has released one level of accountability or load off of him. Same as John Maxwell. We always hear John Maxwell, and I forgot to play it earlier. But John Maxwell is no longer the CEO of John Maxwell Enterprise. So even though he's still the voice, he's no longer the head. And sometimes you have to understand that we as leaders, we're going to have to ease back. We may still appear to be the face, but we're no longer the one moving the dice. I say a lot on that point, bye. Yeah. So yes, look out for that this coming Sunday over there in Tortola. I love when stuff like that happens. It tells me that there are a few leaders that understand that leadership must have legs. Legacy must have legs. Legacy must have legs. It makes no sense that you're building your leadership and you're then building the legs to it. Who's gonna take it on? Who's going to carry it on when you pass? You're gonna just die? It's going to just die. Forward movement, let's go here.
Your DJ has only just begun.
He is, yeah. People in the earth, they don't walk right. People in the earth, they don't walk right. People in the earth, they don't walk right. Get ready for battle, not with flesh and blood. Satan and his demons seek to devour you. In the name of Jesus, we got the victory. People in the earth, they don't walk right. Hear the one cry. Hear the one cry. Get ready for battle. Not with flesh and blood. Satan and his demons seek to devour you. In the name of Jesus, we got the victory. Everybody here. Everybody here. Come on. Let me hear what you hear. Let me hear the war cry. Let me hear what you hear. Let me hear the blood. Raise your hand, snake them down. Raise your hand, demon down. Sing and shout, devil flee. Dance about in victory. Stroke of joy, slay them down. Walk the run, demon gone. Lift your hand, devil flee. Out in victory. Come on, raise your hand. Give the Lord a shout. Come on, people. Jump, 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 jump. Clap your hands, clap your hands. People in the earth, hear the war cry. People in the earth, hear the war cry. People in the earth, hear the war cry. Get ready for battle, not with flesh and blood. Satan and his demons seek to devour you. In the name of Jesus, you got the victory. The Lord of hosts has never lost. The Lord of hosts has never lost a battle. The Lord of hosts has never lost a battle. Yahweh is the warrior king. Put on your walk. Call the name of Jesus. Show me your story. For power, step on the enemy, smash down his head for me. Step on the enemy, smash down his head for me. We win, we never lose a battle. We win, we never lose a battle. We win, we never lose a battle. We win.
Let a war cry. People in the earth, let a war cry. Get ready for battle. Not with flesh and blood. Satan and his demons seek to devour you. In the name of Jesus, we got the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior, forever. You sought me and bought me with blood. He loved me, I knew him, and all my love to him. He plunged me to victory. We need his blessing. And bought me. Come on, somebody needs to just give the Lord some praise. Put your hands up if you know he's been victorious in your life. Hallelujah. Yeah. Oh, my love.
Yo, DJ, are you done mixing it?
Your DJ
Are you ready?
is only just
Tell me, are you ready? Put your hands in the air, say boy, say yeah. The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me down to life. In pastures green, he leadeth me, the quiet waters by. My soul he doth restore again, and lead to walk that may. Within the path of righteousness and for his own name's sake. Oh, he lives, he lives, he lives. I know that my Redeemer lives. Jesus lives. He lives within my heart. Yea, though I walk in death's dark vale, yet I will fear no ill. For thou art with me, and thy rod and staff my comfort still. My table thou hast furnished in the presence of my foes. My head thou dost anoint with oil, my cup it overflow. Oh, he lives, he lives, he lives. I know that my Redeemer lives, he lives. Jesus lives, he lives within my heart. Hey, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Say praise ye the Lord, praise ye the Lord, praise ye the Lord, praise ye the Lord.
Put your hand in the air now.
Goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all of the days of my life. Hands up. I want to see your hands up. Everybody put your hands up. Hey, hands up. I want to see your hands up. Everybody put your hands up. Rise up. I want to see your hands up. Everybody put your hands up. Hands up. I want to see your hands. I want to see your hands. I want to see your hands. He lives. He lives. I know that my Redeemer lives. He lives, lives, lives. Jesus lives. He lives within my heart. Hey, he lives. He lives. He lives. I know that he lives. He lives within my heart. In the Bible, in the days of old, they had their festivals, known by different names. The days of Moses, they had the Passover. In the days of David, they had the Jubilee. But when Christ came, he rode in victory. On a day still known as Palm Sunday, it's a street jam full of believers, yeah. We taking over street jam full of believers, boy. We taking over the street, you know, taking over the summer. Oh, yeah, street jam, we taking over, boy. Yeah, yeah. In every island, there's a festival. From island to island, it's known by different names. In the Bahamas, they call it Inchancano. And in Barbados, they call it Incadument. Here in Trinidad, we calling it Carnival. It's all the same thing, but we come to take over with the street jam full of believers, yeah. Identify yourself now, yeah. It's up your understanding, it's up your understanding. Full of believers, blood wash believers, yeah. Young people, watch how you're dancing. Boy, Jesus, you're representing. Young ladies, watch how you're jumping. Hey, this is a decent thing. Right now, them demons trembling. Holy Ghost is stepping in. This Jesus joy keeps bubbling. Nobody could stop this thing. Sing a sweet song, sing a sweet song. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Every nation, there's a festival. It's linked to ancient time, like the days of Aaron. They built a golden calf, and in their revelry, boy, they offended God, but we ain't doing that again. We coming in Jesus' name, a holy army now. We covered in Jesus' blood. We come to take over with the yeah, yes, oh yes, a street jam in Jesus' name, oh yes, in Jesus and me, boy, Jesus and you, boy, Jesus and the whole community. Tell everybody, tell anybody, tell somebody, tell the business, tell the government, tell the parliament, tell your neighbor, tell your friend, oh yes. Hey, lift up your hand and give him shouts in the streets, boy. Lift up your hand and give him praise in the streets, boy. We taking over the street, we taking over the street, we taking over, yeah. When I say Jesus, you say street jam, Jesus, street jam, Jesus, street jam, Jesus, oh yeah, Jesus and me, Jesus and street jam, yeah, street jam, yeah, it's a street jam, a street jam, yeah, it's a street jam, a street jam, yeah. Oh who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing? Who started the wailing thing? Question. Who started the wailing thing? Boy, who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing? Some people here in this country don't even afford. Say they believe this thing is unholy. It started a carnival. So I tell them, read your Bible, check Leviticus, or ask your grandmother. She coming up with and she waved it in the air, and she giving a wave of foreign, wave of foreign, yeah, wave of foreign. Who started the wailing thing? Who started the wailing thing? We started the wailing thing, boy. We started the wailing. We started the wailing. Wave something. We started the wailing. Wave anything. We started the wailing. Wave to the king. Yeah. I know you have your opinion. A personal conviction. Some people want religion. Yeah, it's stifling the spirit, man. But I tell them, read your Bible, check in Exodus, Oh, ask your grandmother when she come in the church with the white chip and she wave it in the air and she giving a wave of her ring, a wave of her ring, yeah, a wave of her ring, wave of her ring, and she singing. Who started the waving thing? Who started the waving thing? We started the waving thing. We started the waving. Boy, we started the waving thing. Sing again. We started the waving thing. Come again. We started the waving thing. We started the waving. Some think it was Iowa. He was in the order. You think it was Super Blue? Boy, don't let them fool you. Read Exodus 29. Read Leviticus 10. Read in the Gospels. Read it up. Read it up. Hey! We started the waving thing. We started the waving thing. We started the waving thing. Come again. We started the waving. We started the waving thing. We started the waving thing. Christian. We started it. We started the waving. God tell Moses to start waving the sacrifices. The enemy started using it for his own vices. They use it to party and behave slack. In Jesus' name we taking it back. Oh, sing the chant, sing the chant. Oh, every nation, every nation. Oh, and we giving away our rain, praise our rain. Everybody, sing the thing, sing the thing. We started the waving thing. We started the waving. Come again, sing again. Everybody, sing it up, yeah. Keep it locked. Hey, hey. Hey, yeah. Remix. Me partner Raj from Princess Town. He talking about this racial thing. He said, Shawnee boy, it's politics that have all these races divided. When Jesus started to say the Indian, the Chinese, the Syrian, the African, all mixes of races. I know, living on the earth. Yeah, he died to save them, living on the earth. He come to save them all. Hey, 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 hey. The serious thing, the ethnic king. And in this small land of sea and sand, named after the Holy Trinity. Oh, yeah, I say we safe and sound from hurricane and storm. But the hatred is brewing in the land. When Jesus died to save the Indian, the Chinese, the Syrian, the African, all mixes of races I know, living on the earth. Yeah, he died to save them, living on the earth. Hey, Jesus died to save them all. Hey. Nothing about as well, I'm on. We live like friends and family. Why all of this hatred now? Remove all the hatred now. Remove all the racists now. Hey, 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 but whether you're black, whether you're white, whether Syrian, whether Indian, no Chinese.
Just understand.
Follow it, he died to say. Follow it, Jesus died to say. Follow it, Jesus died to say. Follow it, it's the passion of the Christ. The compassion of the Christ. It's the passion of the Christ. The compassion of the
Christ. Anything nice, play twice. Yo, DJ.
Something else going on in the news. This one is interesting. This one is interesting. Breaking the news.
This racial thing.
And you know, when I give you the news, it's good news, right?
Politics that have
The St. Martin government has approved a plan to destroy the entire population of the vervet monkeys. The vervet monkey, the same kind of monkey that we have. In the Caribbean, you can find the monkeys in most of the islands, the British Islands. St. Kitts and Barbados pretty much appears to have the most. St. Kitts and Barbados. See, like St. Kitts still have more than Barbados.
And in this small land of sea and sand.
Surprising because Barbados still have sugar cane.
Oh, yeah, say we say.
By the way, another news, Barbados sugar is now available in Walmart in the US. They're going big. So back to the monkey. St. Martin government intend to eliminate the entire population of monkeys over there. That's interesting. I'm like, that's cool. You could get rid of them, but yet on the flip side, do you really want to get rid of them? All of them, entire population. So I went and do my research. And what is the population of monkeys in St. Martin? I vex, you know. The population of monkeys in St. Martin, they are saying it's just 450 monkeys. You guys got 450 monkeys on your ball? I be over here, got more than 30,000 monkeys and we not ball. Well, we balling, but not so hard. Yeah. Think it's a needless. We have far more than 30,000 monkeys and we have a population of 55,000 people. So safe to say, the monkey population is roughly 3/4 of the human population. But St. Martin is saying that they plan to eliminate all. Now, I have a few questions. How are you going to do that? That's question number one. How are you going to do? Unless they're going to find a disease or something that's gonna just make the monkey catch the next monkey catch the next monkey. How you gonna kill them off? How? You tell me that how you gonna get that though? I would love to know how they're gonna manage to catch all of them. Even though it is only 450, my biggest question is how you gonna get to catch them? How you gonna get to kill them? Me would love to know. I would love to know how you get that though. Yeah. That's my first question. My second question is, how about finding other means to do with the monkeys instead of just killing them off? Monkey meat. I know they have zoos, but how about you get them and put them in some zoos? How about you find a way that you could stop them from breeding? So at least they would die off over time versus killing them off one time. How about some other means? That's my second question. My third question is, before I say the third question, I need to tell you this. The government has reserved $55,000 US yearly to kill off 450 monkeys. No, wait. $55,000 taxpayers' money to kill off 450. Me can't do the maths. I really can't do the maths. $55,000 US is reserved per year to get rid of 450 monkeys. Somebody better help me calculate that. Scholar gonna have to talk to me.
JB, what is you saying concerning Barbados and sugar?
Barbados still have a sugar cane, right? So they still have a sugar. Their sugar is now available on Walmart, which is in the US.
Oh.
So, which means they're now hitting big markets. So the sugar industry has finally pretty much hit a huge seller. So it's upward movement for them and the sugar industry.
Well, that is good if it reach Walmart. You wouldn't get a kind of washout looking thing, whether there's a we don't know where it comes from.
Well, that doesn't mean that we're gonna get it. It means the US is purchasing from them. That's technically what it means.
Yes, but then people send barrels too.
Fair enough. So you might just get a sugar with a Barbados logo on it.
Somebody going to send a 5-pack or something.
Yeah.
Because in the days when things used to come faster, if it coming as fast, even faster than then when I was growing up, you used to get the white sugar and so on. Your people used to send it out in barrels and stuff.
Fair enough.
I am saying if it is in Walmart, it actually means that people is going to get it throughout where they have their people to send a package.
Agreed. It's going to spread. It should spread around the world a little bit more.
Yeah, but that is good.
It is.
You will get a better quality
of
the sugar than what they actually have.
Hopefully,
Hopefully, and then you won't have to use that excess amount because in the standard of the sugar is much higher. So what you say, and
You want to know about the monkey situation now?
with the monkey,
The monkey situation, according to the news, and this one just came out, but St. Martin government is pretty much getting ready to remove all the monkeys on the island.
but how they gonna get it do?
That's my first question.
Now, these things just come fast. The young ones just get the young ones, and the younger ones get a younger one.
That's why I'm saying all they're doing is monkeying around, you know.
But
That's
why they don't take the money and invest it in a child who appearance might be?
Hold on, I was coming to that because they said they have 450 monkeys and they put in, I say, 55,000 US a year.
Well, they can invest it into a child's education.
Correct.
A child that is their parents is struggling.
They could send that child to a university so they could learn how to do stuff with monkeys.
You know, the people of Holland and all these kind of places, so at least they could invest it into something. I'm not saying that the monkey population is not, you know.
No, well, their population is only 450 monkeys they have over there, you know.
You see, they only have 450 now, but
I swear someday they see 450 monkeys in one day.
maybe it's not the 450, maybe it's more than that. But what I'm saying is that they could take that money and invest it into somebody's education, because in there are people who need of help, or some sort of a health situation where somebody can afford to go away and get a proper surgery, whatever it might be.
Yeah, but
And instant something a life.
Yeah, but it's
a child, a future child.
It's
something.
It's interesting, yeah.
But that's how they see it. That's how they see it. You just have to respect it if that is the case.
You can't vex with it, really.
No, you have to just, you don't have to agree with people and their views. You know, you just have to respect it. That doesn't mean you agree. But anyway, you have a good evening.
You know, I've never actually seen a monkey in St. Martin.
Well, they know where they are.
I've seen iguanas. Everywhere you go, you see iguana.
We make that one invest in the
Well, I don't know why they don't kill off the iguana and leave the monkey. I don't know. maybe the thing is the monkeys, the truth be told, are pests. They are now becoming pests rather than pets. They were brought here as pets, P-E-T-S, but now they are P-E-S-T. I spell it right.
Yes, because in they eat everything, they wait everything before they ripe and all this kind of thing. They're the first harvesters.
Yeah, trust me. Especially what I've realized, like our mango season here in States has taken a blow for monkey over the last
because
years.
What they do is to just pick the mangoes, and when they're not ripe, they drop them.
Yeah.
Same thing with the guineas.
Trust me. On the flip side of it, I do tours and we normally go to the rainforest, and I went to the rainforest about a week and a half ago with some guests, and there was a lot of monkeys, right?
And they get excited over it.
The guests literally forfeit the beach, because we were supposed to go to the beach after. That was an extra hour. They forfeit their lunch break, and we just literally sat there looking at monkeys.
Yes, they get excited about these monkeys.
It's so how do we, and I guess it needs a safe balance, and I would love to hear this conversation expand some more, but do you really want to get rid of all of them? I don't know.
If you see them on the golf course as if they're playing.
I really don't want. It's interesting. It's interesting, and maybe they have to find a way. Maybe they should find a way, as I said, to spare them. I think the word is spare. The thing when you mean you take out the ability to get children. Or something like that.
Yes, and they would eventually,
Eventually, they will die or they will decrease. Sure.
Exactly.
So maybe they should try that approach, but to just wipe them out by and then all amount of money the money part is what hitting me, yeah, because do you really gonna use all the money
to wipe all of them out?
I honestly don't know. How would they do that? I honestly don't know. Because let's say they put a monkey disease. The risk of the monkey disease spreading over into the human. Let's say they do some traps. Let's say they start to give people reward every monkey tail they return.
Well, maybe they could do that. But the disease might affect humans.
Correct. You want to be careful not to try any chemical approach.
Putting something to. You must remember, people just eat them too, eh?
Right. So
it's a wheel in a wheel.
Oh my! It's something interesting to look at for the next few years as we keep your eyes over on St. Martin as to how do they really go about doing this. Something to look at.
I guess if they can get in, then somebody else will try to find out a way and how to
Shoot, and then
yes, to
if
eliminate
so,
those in the other countries.
correct. So I guess we just watch the experiment and see. I do hope that their experiment don't eventually affect the human. I do hope they don't try, it don't overlap, but left to see how that's gonna go down.
And another thing, a word to the wise is enough when you're speaking about legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I go no further.
Hey, you know me back, Brad, you know. But I know your word to the wise, you know. When I started saying that, I said, "By Johnny, you want go down on the road there?" I asked myself, "Do you want to go down that limb?"
No, because you might just be touching the wrong.
A wise man once told me, "Don't step on one person toe, step on everybody toe."
Well, it's how people take it, man. It's exactly how you really take it. People
Correct.
take things differently too. So
Correct.
it could be something that you put in the ear that somebody can consider, as well as somebody would take it as not really an offense, but whatever way they accept it, and it affects them in whatever way.
Trust me, everything that you did not say, I comprehend earlier, and I trust me, my mind has been on it. Everything you did not say just now, I understood that.
Something else, you know.
Yeah, listen, earlier I said, "Boy, Johnny, you really want to go down the road."
And you know, you have a lot of wisdom along with it, and you share it.
Yeah.
So that's the good part.
Yeah, man.
Have a good evening.
Yeah. Just now, for all those of you who up in positions, age, and what's not, I'm not telling you to retire. I'm not, because let me just say it. I can't. Me gotta be careful, because me might say that, and past heads might come and say, "Johnny, go home." I'm not hitting anyone at all, because if I'm to hit anyone, it would be right here me work, and then me get in trouble, and then me not got no food, and me got to go and go say, "Man, go try hunt monkey." Yeah. So nonetheless, I was hitting you from a more general perspective about that, but I do believe some leaders should consider. Take me advice. I'll give you guys some free advice on this thing, you know. Yeah, take me advice. I didn't give you a minute with Maxwell today. Maxwell's minute is 3 minutes. Yeah, not too long. Another 10 for that. Let's continue moving ahead in Evening Connections. As I say, over the next few days, the next few years, I look forward to see how St. Martin play out that, and see how they deal with that for real. I really would love to see how they deal with it. And I'm also convinced that they have far more than 450 monkeys. Somebody Matt's not count out too well, yeah? That like the man who said he will count the child who was supposed to be counting the goats, and he come back and tell the mother, "I only see 2 goats, and there was another 5 over there, but they were running around, so I really couldn't count them." So maybe they only counted the monkeys that were sitting down, and the ones that were standing up, they did not count them. I really didn't know. But left to see. It's a conversation to have. If you are a teacher, maybe you should ask a geography teacher in particular, human and social biology, one of those subjects. You should have a discussion with your class one of these days. Tell them what's going on in St. Martin and see what the children have to say about it. If they have suggestions how to get rid of them in a good way that will not affect the human race or will not affect something else. Yeah, let's open a conversation on it. Different radio station, talk shows, listen.
I'm gonna teach you something new.
Open a conversation and see.
But
how would this conversation go down? Especially the
God, he reigns on high.
US per year.
The standard, my God, he is the greatest. So show me why you're created. With also, so the rain, winter, and fall is only a.
That's maybe just about
42,000
$142,000 EC for years.
Jesus, I wanna see a testimony.
I want to leave you guys for today. I want to say thanks for being here in Evening Connections. I pray and hope that you were blessed in some shape, form, or fashion.
Trip, say, running to you.
Be sure to join me again on Monday where we do it all over again.
Running to you, Lord. Where is it? Follow me. We're running. Say.
Running to you, Lord.
Everybody, running. It's where I wanna. To the. Oh yeah.
Until we meet again, remember you walk, talk, and you talk. Carla, I coming to you, wrapping up there. We walk, talk, and we talk, but your walk, talks more than your talk. So please to talk with your walk.
Join with me.
Right, leaders, I need to resign.
Please
to talk with your walk.
But even then,
may the good Lord bless and keep his patience upon you. Let him be gracious unto you and give you his kind of peace. And I know say peace out.
Sun or rain, winter or fall, it's only on Jesus Christ we will call. Even though you're back against the wall, he'll never go up on the water. Talk it up and say, even if you believe in Jesus, I wanna see you testify. We don't want no scriptures. You believe the scriptures. Yo, 1, 2, 3, no. Running. Everybody say, hey, running. So we running. To the side. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at the face of them watching we. Some say we going mad, some say we gone crazy. Yeah, attacking we face, but we going hard. Because we believe in God. Yes, we believe in God. Yeah, sun or rain, winter or fall, it's only on Jesus Christ we will call. Even though you're back against the wall, you'll never give up on you at all. Talk and say, we never went back no way. On the solid rock we stay. On the solid rock we stay. Running to you, Lord. Running in your heart. Jesus, running. Say, running. Where I want. Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go leave it all right after this song.
Call up yonder when the roll is called up. Sing it again, say when the roll
is called up yonder. When the road is called up yonder.
When the road is called up
yonder. When the road is called up
no music evening. Just about the sequence. Say when the road.
Keep it locked.
Running. Say, running. Everybody say,
With Ukraine will have to keep pushing to be supplied with modern tanks and provide them. He said it was obvious that the West would have to give Ukraine the tanks it needed to repel the Russians, and blocking the delivery of German-made Leopard tanks, which they want to send. The BBC's Dave Rosenberg says the Allies' inability to agree has gone down well in Moscow.
The Russians will be pleased that so far there is no agreement to send American or German battle tanks to Ukraine. Interestingly, In this morning's edition of the Russian government newspaper, there was a warning to Germany and to the German Chancellor. The paper said that no one knows better than the German Chancellor what happened the last time that Germany sent armor towards the Russian borders, meaning World War II. So a very strong message, and the Russians, as I say, will be pleased, I think, that no German tanks for the moment will be sent to Ukraine.
The United States has said it's designating the Russian mercenary group Wagner as a transnational criminal organization. The national security spokesman, John Kirby, said Wagner was committing atrocities and human rights abuses in Ukraine and elsewhere. He added that intelligence indicated growing tension between the mercenary group and the Russian Ministry of Defense.
We continue to assess that Wagner currently has approximately 50,000 personnel deployed to Ukraine, including 10,000 contractors and 40,000 convicts. Our information indicates the Russian Defense Ministry has reservations about Wagner's recruitment methods. Despite this, we assess that it is likely that Wagner will continue to recruit right out of Russian prisons.
Anti-abortion activists are rallying in Washington for the 50th annual March for Life, calling for further restrictions on the termination of pregnancies. It's the first such event since the Supreme Court overturned the Roe v. Wade decision that had recognized a woman's constitutional right to abortion. 12 states have since enforced bans. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, said the Biden administration wouldn't let up in the fight to protect people's rights.
We want to make sure that we continue to underscore the ongoing attacks on women's rights to make their own healthcare decisions. This is something that the Biden-Harris administration has taken very seriously. This is